Hi there and welcome to another video. My name is Richard, or Moxfire if you want to call me by my game name. Today we are playing some Gwent. I'm currently at around 2900 on ladder right now, position 2000 or 2100. So I'm not super terrible at this game. Slowly climbing up, trying to get to rank 13. But the new meta dropped, so a lot of different decks have been floating around. So I just wanted to show you one of the decks that I've been pretty successful with, and it is the Self-Harm Skellige deck. So this is it. Basically, it's a pretty simple deck. It revolves around Savage Bears, getting Clan Axemen out with the Savage Bears in order to constantly buff them for every single non-gold unit that hits the board. Using the Clan Drummond Shield Maidens in order to thin out the deck, because when one of these drops on the board, the bear hits it, pulls out the second one, the bear hits it, pulls out the third one. So it's a really nice little quick tool to thin your deck out and get power on the board. We use lots of revives because revive is really powerful in purple. So we run the full revive package: Restore, Sigdrifa, and the 3 Priests of Freya. This is pretty much just to counter hard removal, which is the biggest counter to this deck. That and locking, and also D-bomb at the very last round. Basically, if you manage to get the Axemen off the board, you can win against this deck pretty successfully. And then everything else in here is just stuff that does damage, except for Aldrich, which is this is mainly to counter Queensguard. They just nerfed Queensguard today, like this evening. They did a hot fix. So I'm not sure if I need this in here anymore. But I was using it against Queensguard because first turn they would discard their Queensguard, then I would play this and I would steal one of their Queensguards and it would totally mess up their whole plan. Over the course of an entire game, it means like 2 to 5 health off of Cirrus in the last round, because it can't constantly keep playing the Queensguard over and over. So I found it really useful. Everything else just does damage. We have Martebreck, because Martebreck's really good. I also found Martebreck really useful for comboing with the Conjurer, because you can set their life total so they're all the same, and then the Conjurer hits everything. So Martebreck's really nice and flexible for being able to help you put life totals exactly where you need them to be, so you hit multiple units with the Conjurer. And if this is hitting 3 or 4 units a turn, it's crazy, crazy, crazy powerful. We got Coral, because Coral's really good. Little like one-sided weather, even though it's only 1 row now, is still really powerful. There's lots of anti-weather decks, so like monster or weather control, this is pretty useless. Other Skellige decks, sometimes it's useless because the Clan Drummond Pirates are weather immune, but generally you can find 1 or 2 targets with this and it's still worth it. I'm contemplating swapping it out for something else. Yennefer, of course, because Yennefer, you summon the Cryonex. Almost all the time you summon the Cryonex, because you almost always get more value out of the reduction because it buffs the Axemen, then you wind up losing out on the 1 or 2 units above the opponent that you might have. Then Birna, because Birna works really well for thinning out your deck, picking cards that you need, digging when you need to. Ideally, what you want to be doing is winning the first round with this deck, and then using Birna in the second round when it doesn't matter, and then going into the third round with card advantage, and a really thinned out deck. Then we're also running Tremors, because Tremors is also like a mini version of Yennefer. It is super powerful with these guys. I've seen my power swings, like I had one game where I went from like 100 power to 168 power. Like it can be worth a huge amount. Then we have D-Bomb, because it's really good counter to this particular deck as well. And then we have a little bit of weather control cards, Blizzard Potion specifically just for the Axemen, and then we also have First Light, which can serve as a rally as well, which generally will pull a Priestess of Freya. But all in all, I find that this deck's pretty good. I have like a 60% win rate on ladder with it. So I have been climbing with it. I've been playing a lot of other things. That's the reason why I'm not super high on ladder right now. And trying out new decks and seeing if I can figure something else out that works well. But this is what I've been running. This is what works well for me. Another thing I'm going to do is I'll just show you a budget core of this. So if you are a new player, you're looking to try to build something like this, but you may not have all of the cards. This is the core of the deck. These are the cards you absolutely have to have in order to make this deck run. And one of the nice things about this deck is it's actually really budget friendly, because of the fact that the bears are rare. We have a couple epics with the Restore, Yennefer, and Sigdrifa. So that's 600 scraps right there, plus 80 scraps for both of those. So it's 760 scraps, which is not a huge amount. And then you can run these instead of the clan clan shield maidens. So the clan shield maidens are 80 each, so they're a little bit expensive, especially when you're first starting out. But the Dunmer pirates, these guys, or Dimmen pirates, they do the same thing. So you could put 3 of those in there. They basically thin out your deck, because when you play, basically you want to keep one in your hand, and when you play one, it pulls all the other ones out of your deck. Thinning is really powerful in this game. So this is a really budget alternative to having the pirates, the shield maidens, but the main difference is just that this doesn't put power on the board, whereas the shield maidens actually puts 12 power on the board, and this will only put down 5. But as a budget alternative, this is great because then you can just fill in with whatever cards that you have. Pretty much everybody has these guys. The Clan of Crate Warriors work really well. You don't need to have Hensel, which my main core build runs Hensel, which does 3 damage, removes 3 damage from all your opposing units, which works super well with the Axeman. Really one-sided damage. It's really good on really big turns. And then the Crate Warrior, though, he summons 2 Clan and Crate Warriors, which actually will wind up damaging themselves, which also synergizes with this. So that works fine. These guys are pretty good budget options because you're running so much restoration. You generally have a target to restore. Generally, you want to try to restore the Axeman, but these are okay. And these are also a really nice budget option for this deck as well. The Brookvar Archer, because they also do 3 damage to remove 1 damage from 3 separate units. So it actually buffs the Axeman 3 times. So it's actually pretty powerful. I wound up switching these out for Tremors. And actually you can still run Tremors too, because that should be pretty cheap, right? Yeah, and Tremors are rares as well. So if you want to put 1 or 2 of these in here, that would also work as a budget option. If you are going to run a budget option, I probably would run 3 First Lights just to help you thin your deck out and combat weather control decks. But this is a pretty good budget core list if you want to try to build it without having a very large collection. So we'll just jump into some games.
Not all battles need end in bloodshed.
Alright, up against P. Duker, playing Morven Van Vors. I haven't played a lot of Nilfgaard because I didn't open that much Nilfgaard in the 70 kegs that I opened when the patch dropped, unfortunately. So I don't know a huge amount of stuff that they do. I also haven't seen any really competitive Nilfgaard decks yet. I'm sure somebody will come up with them soon. Get rid of that. Double Tremors. I probably could have kept the other Axeman. So we'll lead off with the Axeman. So this guy's leader ability looks at the top 3 cards and allows you to play 1. Okay. So that pretty much fucks my whole turn up. Birna might give me another Axeman.
We shall do it my way.
Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. I don't really want to Axeman now. I don't really want to do anything else now, actually. I'm just going to pass. So, hard removal is definitely the counter to this deck. If you can get multiple Axemen up, though, you have a way better time of it. Because they remove 1, it buffs your other one. It makes it more difficult for them to remove. Hopefully I pull a Priestess. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Rally's pretty good, or First Light's pretty good for pulling Priestesses as well. Alright, so he goes first.
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
Alright, that doesn't do anything. So play the Axeman. Try to get the bear on the board next round. Hopefully he doesn't just lightning bolt it again. He probably isn't running a whole suite of lightning bolts. Okay, that's fine. Throw down the bear. We're lucky we didn't pull a shield maiden when we drew.
You talked enough.
So he's planning on losing the round, which makes complete sense. We'll play this.
Give them no rest, no reprieve.
So if I'm him, I probably pass here.
I warned you.
Okay, so he wants to keep that on the board. Don't really have any easy options for reducing its strength or making it not a problem for next round, so we're just going to rally to thin my deck out a little bit more.
Bow before modern prayer.
Pull up the Axeman.
Twist it!
So you see every time something hits the board, the bear hits it, which buffs the Axeman. A really simple synergy. I'm super far ahead, but I have to respect the fact that he can easily make up 40 points or 20 points. Okay. So when the weather hits also, it buffs the Axeman, so that's another thing to take note of. Unfortunately, I can't Tremors now. I could D-Bomb. D-Bomb is actually... how much do I lose? The base strength in this thing is 5 right now. So I lose 4 and I gain a lot more than that. So it's still worth it to D-Bomb here. I also don't think D-Bomb will be that useful. And that was an Atromancy, so... Oh no, it was an Impenetrable Fog. No, it was an Atromancy.
I shall do what I must.
For 2 turns with leaders will again be available for use. Okay. So I'll just use this right away.
Up and at 'em, lazy mingers! You'll sleep when you're dead!
Burak!
Okay. He's hoping it would hit the empowered guy. The Tremors now. It's like a huge boost. Fair enough. I still have Sigdrifa. What's the best way to do this now? I guess Coral's pretty good here.
That might even be amusing.
I'm pretty sure I can win the round. Yeah, okay, good. So he forced a Coral out of me, but that's fine. I don't think I'm going to get a huge amount of value out of the Coral anyway. It looks like he's playing some kind of weather immunity, which is totally valid in the current meta. So you got a Siri back, which sucks a little bit, but what are you going to do? It would have been sweet if I pulled Yennefer. Okay, so we will play Sigdrifa first, because Sigdrifa gets buffed every time something comes out of the graveyard. Pull up one of the Axemen. Okay. Now I'm going to throw down one of the bears just so the Axeman gets going. I'm mostly worried about this getting removed early. Okay, that's fine. That actually helps
Bow
me.
before modern prayer.
Let us see.
I don't know if I want a Tremors here. How much is Tremors worth? So 1, 2, 3. I got, what, 7 guys on the board, and I do 4 to him. And that's a total of 9 units getting hurt. No, 7 units getting hurt because they don't buff themselves. 7 units gives 14 points. Yeah, so it's still worth it to Tremors. It's probably better to Tremors later, though. If I Cryonex, what happens? Probably not a lot of good stuff. I think we're actually going to Unicorn here. I just have so many more units that Unicorn is actually better. Generally, it's better to Cryonex, but...
My men know the meaning of sacrifice.
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
Doesn't matter what he steals.
So
Nilfgaard's really good against Queen's Guard. Yeah. I guess a Tremors here now. Tremors is still going to be better later. We'll just do this.
Here's the better loot than in your wildest, wettest dreams.
So my problem's gonna be is if he has like a D-bomb or something else at the end of the round.
I warned you.
I still have quite a bit of power on the board regardless, though. How much power do I have without 26 plus
Yield and save me some time.
probably like 36 or something like that? If he manages
I
to
strive
D-bomb.
above all to be just.
Oh, shackling, okay. Still not enough. But you see how quickly it gets out of control. But the main counters to this deck are D-bomb, Scorch. The thing is you can usually get them back up on the board and still keep powering them up after you've been scorched. So the real trick to playing against this deck is to wait until the very end and then win. Try and win the first round as absolutely desperately as you can. If you get the first round, then just save all of your removal for the very last round, and then you'll usually win against this deck. But people haven't quite figured it out. So this deck is still pretty successful. I don't expect it will continue to be successful for very long because a lot of people are playing it. But for now, it's fun. I got Blue Boy. Blue Boy and the Axeman is just crazy. Plus I got Yennefer too, which is super good. I need a bear, would be nice. I'm playing against him, so I probably don't need Blizzard Potion. Probably don't need First Light. I don't want a third. Sigdrief is fine.
This is no time to whimper.
Because he wants to get those going, I'm going to play the Yennefer
Now.
and try to go off on the first round with one Axeman.
I've been killed for less.
Yeah, I forgot he's playing Radovan. That's not good.
For blood!
Let's go. For Temeria!
For Temeria.
For the clan! For Skellige!
Only problem right now is a 33%, or I guess a 50% chance. No, my axe. Ha! That's pretty good. Okay, I don't have anything else I can do here, so I'm just gonna pass.
Don't recognize your old mate.
Fortunately, he got all of his Reaver Hunters off too. So hard removal works pretty well against this deck. Might be able to steal his Martybrek or the Whale. Would be pretty good.
You stand before royal majesty.
Okay. I still didn't get a bear, which sucks a lot. So we'll play the Axeman. Not getting a bear is pretty bad for this deck. I probably should be running 3 of them. But drawing a bear on the last round sucks as well. Okay, so that's fine. So he just gave us the second round, which was nice of him. Means we have a lot of stuff going into the final round. Unfortunately, we still don't have a bear. We have a pretty decent chance of getting the whale now, though. No, it's not the whale.
I'll gather my men.
I got double tremors, and I have my hero power, so it should be okay. I kind of want to use my Hensel heal power on this thing, but I'll wait till there's a little bit more stuff on the board. Oops, we use Sigdrifa first.
What do you need?
I need the Axeman. I probably should have rezzed the Axeman with a regular guy and just rezzed the whale with Sigdrifa. Oh, I still have Restore, so I can restore
Are
the
you
whale.
certain? I do it differently.
Salutations.
So it doesn't look like he's running full control. He's just running some control options. I bet you the Radovid's just for
Mordred Freyr
Yennefer,
is patient, but
which
she
makes complete
brooks no
sense to me.
insult.
Double Axeman on the board is a super huge threat for him. Can only kill one of them, and I bring that one back.
Mordred Freyr is patient, but she brooks
This
no
is the reason why you
insult.
run so much restore in this deck, is because of the fact that people try to remove the Axeman a lot. You need all 5 restore. If you're trying to run the budget version, I would wait until you had the Sigdrifa and the restore before trying to run this deck. We're gonna play. Well, no, we're gonna res the whale now.
Come on, let's go. Time to face our fears.
So the fact that he put out the Conjurer actually helps us. It'll keep whacking opposite Axemen over and over. But generally I will gain a lot more than I will lose. And the fact that the Lubberkin buffed it is pretty good, because now my Herald won't kill it if he manages to injure it somehow. Ooh, that's pretty damn good for him. Can I stall out for that many turns? Probably not. So I'm going to lose the Axeman. So we're just going to... Ooh, Bork is really good against us. I guess we just go for the full control route and see if we can just outvalue him. Because the amount of damage that I do with all my stuff still is quite substantial.
Thank not me. Thank Melitele.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised seeing a rise in popularity of Bork. Who reses the whale. That probably would be good for him if he did that. I would not be happy. Too bad. Because he can just play out anyway, right? So we'll just coral here.
That might even be amusing.
Using my own tools against me. Clears the weather. So this person probably built this deck specifically to counter my deck, which is something I would expect at this point. Tremors here.
Give them no rest, no reprieve.
Such a good Bork play. I'm still ahead in power though.
That one escapes. Got it?
Uh-oh. Trouble approaches.
I don't think I'm going to win this round. But that Bork was basically the reason why he won the game. Just straight up removes my 2 biggest creatures, which are my 2 Axemen. And I had no way to play around it, because I'd used all my res before from all the other removal that he'd used. So all in all, well played by him. This deck looks like it's pretty optimized against this one. Ugh, and the whale's just wailing on me. And my Hensel, unfortunately, is going to kill
Here's
my
the
whale.
better loot than in your wildest, wettest
More damage.
dreams.
He just needs 4 points in his hand, which he probably has. Or he needs it to land, the whale to land on the middle row. So it's a 50-50 that he tides without playing a card. Actually, it's more like 25%, because it'd be 50-50 on the first time, then the whale would get to have another shot at it. Oh no, and the whale will hit the second row. So it'll be a 100% chance. Yeah, so he ties or wins regardless, no matter what happens. Unless if he just passes right now. In which case, then I have a 50-50 to win. Probably doing some math. Scorch burns his own board. Why would he play that? Oh, he still wins. Oh, never mind. It's a tie. Okay. If he didn't Scorch, he would have won. No, he would have tied regardless. Regardless if he played the Scorch or not, he would have tied. That was a close game. But we both won, so I'll take the rewards. Just jump on into the third game. Against Dagon.
Here's the better loot than in your wildest, wettest
So weather control
dreams.
can sometimes screw this deck up, so I really want my Blizzard Potion. Got Axeman, don't need the Shield Maiden. Priestesses are fine. First Light's really useful. I really want to keep a Tremors. Which means I have to throw away... Oh, Coral's useless in this matchup. And throw away another Priestess. Second Axeman's okay as well. Lead off with an Axeman.
For blood!
Bear. So generally these weather control decks don't have any removal. So I find that relatively useful when being able to just play things out without having to worry about it getting damaged. Also, these guys can usually grow through the weather.
Give them no rest, no reprieve!
I'm not sure if he's going to actually cast the fog here. He probably wants to fog still just to thin out his deck. No, he's not running foglets. Okay. So that is one way you can play it. What do I feel like doing here? I could rally for a probable Priestess, which wouldn't really help me that much. Another Bear would be sweet, though. I could just clear skies it, but I kind of want to save that for the last round. I think we just play the second action. So the reason why this doesn't die when it goes into the fog is because it goes into the fog and then gains strength, 1 strength from being reduced, and then the Bear whacks it. Tremors is pretty good here, so Tremors. I don't really want to commit much more to this round. Shackles are relatively bad, but the fact that I got Shackles out of him is actually pretty good. I can gain 5 points on each and remove most of the stuff on his board. I do go into the next round at a card disadvantage. I could just pass. I don't have a super strong hand for winning the second round necessarily. I think Clear Skiesing here is okay. It doesn't really do a huge amount. It'll probably buff this by like 3 or 4 or something like that. It's not a lot. I'm just gonna use this.
To arms, all of yous!
You should pass now. Alright, I'm passing now. He can win the round if he wants, but he's going to have to spend at least 2 or 3 cards. Actually, he might be able to weather again. If he has a fog, then he probably... Oh, he has his Dagon ability. But I still don't think that wins him the round. What's 5? Oh no, it does win them the round. Okay, he just passes. So hopefully I pick up Birna here. Would be the ideal pull. Not going to get upset about a third Axeman or a Yennefer. I don't really want to do anything this round. But I don't really want to let him just win it. We'll play Axeman.
For blood!
I want him to at least play one card. Hopefully he has to make a tough decision. Okay. That means he has to play 2 cards, and I'm super happy with that. That's perfectly good with me. And he used a weather. I feel like he's really all-inning on the weather with this silver special weather cards. So he probably has just some kind of strong creature he wants to carry in the next round. 7 strength's pretty good for him. Now we really don't want to draw Birna. Igni's probably not that useful. Conjurer would be amazing. Another Priestess is fine. So we can get all our Axemen out. Glad we have the clear skies. Save that for dead last. We have 2 card advantage on top over him. Oops, we need to Sigdrifa first.
May Modern Freya watch us and keep us.
That is a good thing. I'm actually going to res out a second Axeman just to buff this so it doesn't die. Okay, so he doesn't have the damage for it.
Modern Freya is patient,
Yeah,
but
I'm
she
gonna throw out the
brooks
bear
no
now.
insult.
What else do I want? I guess just the Axeman's the last thing to res. More than likely, I think I have this one in the bag. Because if I get triple Axeman out and then hit Tremors, just does work for me. Plus I have Yennefer as well. That's it. We're going to Cryonex now. Because it doesn't look like he's going to have a lot of creatures on the board. And the more stuff I have on the board, the worse Cryonex is going to get. Oh, and I just killed my bear, though. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's fine. Drowner. Oh, that's pretty good for him. We'll play another Axeman. Just in case he winds up getting rid of that one. Here's another Drowner. That's quite a few points. Shackles are good for him as well. I'm gonna just clear skies now. Let's get this row. And Tremor should be able to do it for us here. Yeah, huge power swing. So Tremors is like super good in this particular deck, especially if you have multiple Axemen on the board. But that just shows you the power of the deck. Played 3 games in a row, won 3 games in a row. Where am I at now? We're just back into 3,000 MMR, so we're not like super low on the ladder. We're not super duper high, but definitely a strong deck. So make sure you check it out. I am going to start releasing more regular content for Gwent, so if you're interested in that, please hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on Twitter at twitter.com/moxfiregaming, and you can catch me streaming regularly on Twitch at twitch.tv/moxfiregaming. I usually stream from 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. More than happy to answer any kind of questions or help people build budget decks. So just pop in, ask me, or say hi, and we'll have a time. So thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you have yourself a fabulous day. Cheers.